Hi, I'm Jake Meyer. I'm a physical therapist and a fitness coach, and I'm so excited you're here, taking this first step into living with less pain and getting back to the activities you love. I've designed a 7-day mini course to hit some highlights of showing you how you can help manage pain, get out of pain, and get back to doing what you love. So I'm looking forward to sharing this all with you and yeah, see what you can learn along the way. So here's what we're going to cover. Why listen to me? What's my business? What am I doing? And then just there's that little outline of the 7 days we're going to be doing. Basically, just talking about what the root cause of pain is, understanding what pain is, and then how do we move? How do we get back to doing what we love? So, why listen to me? So, I'm no different than a lot of you guys and girls out there, right? I was an athlete. I loved being active. I lived for sports. And through that, there's always, bumps and bruises and different injuries and even some surgeries. And through that, I needed lots of physical therapy myself and sell the value of helping people get back to doing what they love. So that's what I went into doing. Through that, I've had 2 hip surgeries, or some torn labrums. I was no longer able to run without pain and settled, for the surgeries to fix that. And there was a long road to recovery. In high school, I blew out my knee, and there's a long road to recovery there. So, found the value of strengthening, getting that motion, getting that mobility back, and then ultimately getting back to what you love. And since that time, going through some of the frameworks I'm going to show you, I was able to get back to running 2 half marathons and get back to really just not feeling any limitation at all after any of those surgeries. So, in order to keep helping people, I've done some advanced training in pain management. I've taken some courses in how to do dry needling, run coaching, and even some performance specialist stuff. I've helped thousands of people over the last 11 years doing therapy. Anyone from 10 years old to 99 years old. On some semi-pro athletes, high school athletes, and a lot of boomers, and just your weekend warriors. So I love just getting people back to doing what they love to do. Through those 10 years, I've come up with kind of a proven systematic approach that has usually works time in and time out for most people for most things. I called it the reset, reload, relaunch. Basically, you're trying to work on mobility, getting full motion back of the area that's troublesome. Once you get that motion back, now you got to control it. Regain that movement. Now those muscles got to work in that movement. Reload, start loading you up, get more strength in there, maybe get some more repetitions, maybe it's more weight, increasing the intensity a little bit. And then relaunch, setting you free, getting you back to, running, tennis, golf, just getting off the floor with your kids, up and down the stairs, whatever it is, relaunching you to what you love and, being independent and some course of stuff you can do at home or at the gym. So diving right in. Day one, I just want to talk about mindset. Pain's a funny thing, but let's start with a simple truth. Pain does not mean your body is broken. Pain is your body's way of communicating. It's simply a signal and it's not a sentence. If it wasn't for your brain, you wouldn't have pain. It's just, and we'll dive into this in one of the upcoming courses, but it's just your outside periphery giving your brain a signal and your brain is interpreting it as pain. So something we need to learn about pain is not necessarily be afraid of it, but we need to learn to listen to our body. And as we learn to listen to our body and understand what that pain is trying to tell us, then we can work on building strength. And then we can start moving with confidence. And really, you just got to come to the realization it's not about perfection. It's not about getting there yesterday. It's a process and it's a slow progress at times. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's slow. But with the right frameworks, with the right direction and assistance, I've seen lots of people come out of it. But the first thing is understanding what your body's telling you. It's one of these, I call it my come to Jesus talk I have with a lot of clients, is everyone's looking, outside of themselves for a solution. They go to the doctor for help. They go to me for help. They're looking online for help, WebMD, right? Google. You're looking outside of you for all these solutions. But the true solution you're going to find inside yourself. The problem's inside of you, so the solution's got to be inside of you. The biggest thing is you got to take responsibility for your journey in pain. If you can't do that, especially if it's been something that's been going on for a while and bugging you, you're going to really struggle with it, and it's going to take longer. So if you can come to the realization that you need to take control of it, you're going to go a lot better, a lot quicker. Just kind of emphasize it. You got to accept responsibility. It's your body. I would say no one cares about your body more than you. If you don't care about your body, if you don't treat it well, no one else is going to either. It's no one else's responsibility to feed your body, to move your body, to exercise your body, hydrate your body, get your body to sleep, get your body to rest. That's all choices you make, and all those are going to play into how you are dealing and coping and recovering with pain. So a couple of just real simple action steps I want you to think about today. Just reflecting, what are some activities you long to do? Is it just simply just going for a walk? Simply just standing. Some of my clients just can't stand or even sit for very long without pain. Get up and down from chairs, stairs, get out and run, walk with the kids and the family, bike, whatever it is. What do you long to get back to? And what's holding you back? What's stopping you from achieving that? Failed attempts at some injections or other therapy or whatnot. Like, what's holding you back? I want you to write these down and then share them in our community that you're going to get access to. And don't be afraid to dream big. Okay. What is it you want to get back to? And to really think about that. Because if you have a good reason, a good why, you're going to do a lot better. So to end this first seminar, what I wanted to do is just take our bodies through a little bit of movement and just kind of start reassessing, hey, how is our body moving? And I want to do it over the next 7 days, just kind of doing a few simple assessments, a few simple movements to see if you can start kind of helping yourself figure out what the root cause is. So that way you can help figure out what's the right solution. And I'll be right there to guide you along the way. So let's get into a couple movements. All right, so a couple of movements we're going to try to work through here. We're going to do a march, forward bend, a rotation, and then talk about some deep breathing, some back breathing is what I call it. Just trying to get back into some deep core activations, okay? So let me pause this for a second, and then I'm going to share my screen a little different. All right, so here we go. Shifted to a different location so we can get through a few things here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is the march. So I want you to stand up from your desk or off your phone. Just find plenty of space. And all you're going to do is just stand there, simply just march in place, okay? Seems kind of silly, seems kind of hokey, but bear with me, okay? All I'm trying to do is just reset your positioning, your posture, your body, and all you're going to do after you do about 5 marches or so, just relax, okay? Just stand there, let your arms drop, knees drop, and just kind of let your weight kind of go through your feet, okay? I want you to stand there for a couple seconds. As you stand there, I want you to think about a couple things. Start thinking about, okay, look down, look at your feet. Are your toes straight ahead? Are they turned out? Is one forward and one's out really far? Are they, high arches, low arches? Just kind of observe what your feet are. Is one foot kind of out in front of the other a little bit, and we're kind of standing off? Okay, so just kind of observe that. Then just kind of, how's your weight on your feet? Are you putting more weight on one leg and kind of kicking the hip out or something? Are you staying pretty even? Because that's going to show you a few things that you're going to need to work on, okay? Let's see. After that, all right. So now we've kind of know where that is. Next, we're going to do is a forward bend. So first, just stand there, feet together. All you're going to simply do is just reach down to where you can. Try and touch the ground. Come back up, okay? Just so you can kind of see from the side. Just feet together, just reaching straight down. As you do it, what do you feel? Are you able to keep your knees straight as you do that? Do those knees have to bend? Do you find yourself kind of shifting towards one side or the other? If you can do this in front of a mirror a little bit later on, and just kind of, assess yourself, or even take a video and kind of watch yourself from the front, the side, and the back. If you could video yourself in all those angles, Watch it back. You might be surprised that maybe as you come down, we're shifting, or like maybe like your hips are kind of shifting off to the side as you go down. Our body is great at compensating. And if you can see these compensations, you have a chance at recovering and correcting those. Okay. The next little test I want you to do is a rotation test. What you're going to do here, simply feet together, take your hands crossed, and all you're going to do is just rotate as far as you can. First to the left and then to the right. And just observe. What do you feel? How does your body move? Is it cramping up in your back? Is it hurting your back? Is your hip cramping up? As you do that, do you feel like you have to lift a foot all the way up? Do you feel any stiffness, tightness, pain? Write down the spots that feel stiff. Write down the spots that are a little bit painful. Those are the spots you're probably going to want to focus on, take note on. And you might notice there's going to be a trend every time we talk about this of, oh, every time it's the outside of my left knee, or it's my foot, or, it's the front of my hip. There's going to be a spot that kind of keeps poking up. It could be 2 or 3 of them. And that's going to help you get to the root cause of your pain. Okay. The last thing I want to touch on, and we'll touch more on this the next day, and dig in this a little bit each day, is called low back breathing. Okay. So in order to start getting out of pain, you got to activate your deep core muscles again. Okay. So one of the best ways I found to do this is what I call low back breathing. So what you're going to do, find a spot where you can lay out on the ground. Once you're laying there, we're going to do just a couple little breathing exercises. Typically when we breathe, you're either a chest breather or a belly breather. Okay. Where people are going to breathe up through here, which isn't as good. Okay. I always trained a lot of people to be belly breathers, where you're going to breathe in, expand your belly, and then your chest will raise after that. Okay. What I've started to train people now is doing low back breathing. So what you're doing here, trying to activate your deep core. So you're going to breathe all your air out. As you breathe your air out, you're going to feel your front core muscles tense up as they're trying to push air out. Okay. Once you feel you have gotten all your air out and these muscles are a little bit firm, then what you're going to do is breathe out 2 more times before you breathe in. Okay. So it looks like this. You're going to feel those muscles getting tighter. Okay. So in fact, you can think about that in those terms, where you're going to breathe out and then think tighter. As you get those tighter, you should feel that core really kicking in. Okay. Once those ribs are kicked in, or core's kicked in, what you're going to do is keep those muscles on as you breathe in. Okay. As you breathe in and keep the front muscles on, you're going to be sending all the air and all the pressure to your low back. Okay. So it's going to look like this. And breathe in. And as you breathe in, it should feel like maybe a little stretch in your back, a little tension here. It's going to feel really weird and odd at first. People struggle with this a lot in the clinic when I'm working with them. So take your time with it. Take, these 7 days to practice this, 5 minutes a day. You're laying down like this, where you can be more relaxed, sitting in a chair. Every time you hit a stoplight, every commercial break, when you're watching TV, just different times. Think about emptying your air out, empty all the way out. Keep that tension in there as you breathe in and try to stretch out that low back. And what you're doing by keeping that your front core on, and not letting that loosen up, it's the same idea as like a pop can. Okay. When you have a pop can, and you shake it up, you got all that carbonation in there, all that pressure stays pretty even in there. Imagine you put a hole in the front side of the can, it all squirts out, right? Same thing here. Our core is going to be working all the way around our body. If you keep that front core on, when you breathe in, all that air that's coming in, all that pressure needs to go somewhere. So if you relax your belly and it comes out your belly, you just lost all that energy. But if you can keep that belly on and snug, all the energy will push out toward your backside, which will actually decompress your spine a little bit, helping stretch out your low back muscles, maybe even start getting some of that pain out of the hips and low back, stretching your nervous system, helping some pain down that leg as well, or into the knees. It's the first step into helping get our deep core muscles going, which we'll touch on in one of these other little sessions. So went a little long on day 1, but wanted to at least give you a little mind shift on what is pain? How do we view it? Taking responsibility for it. Showing you a couple of simple little tests of how are you moving, starting to observe how is this pain affecting your body, and then we can keep building from there. If you have any questions, reach out. Look forward to seeing you on day 2, where we dive a little bit more into what is pain.